Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to exampur. Yesterday a shocking news came that a new ozone hole was discovered in the tropics region. It is very you can say it is very disastrous news for the environmental point of view and the geography point of view, because we assumed that we had healed the ozone hole that was developed over the Antarctica. But a new ozone hole is recognized, and that is larger than the previous hole, almost 7 times larger than previous ozone hole. So it raised the concern among the environmentalists and the other scientists which are concerned for the for the global warming and the other ozone related issues. So this news is very harmful, and this news is very shocking for us. So it create the importance. It again create the importance of the ozone for the UPSC examination and the other examination. So we will focus on the other dimensions of the ozone. What is the ozone? How this ozone is formed, and how the ozone depletion take place. We will cover all the dimensions of the ozone related issues. Okay, so today's session is completely dependent on the ozone hole. What is the ozone hole and how it is created? What factors are responsible for the formation of this ozone hole, and why this ozone hole is created over the tropics region? The previous ozone hole was developed over the Antarctica. Okay, so we should take a look on this ozone related issues. The first one, the context of this today's session is the ozone hole is discovered in the lower stratosphere, and thus it is 7 times bigger than the ozone over the Antarctica. This ozone hole is discovered over the tropical region or over the tropics in the lower stratosphere. As you know, ozone is a gas, or you can say ozone is the allotrope of the oxygen, which is made from the 3 atoms of the ozone, and this is a highly reactive gas. This is a very highly reactive gas, and this ozone is formed by the reaction of the volatile organic compound with the nitrous oxide or the oxides of the nitrogen. When the oxides of the nitrogen is reacting with the volatile organic compounds, then the ozone created. This ozone can be created by the natural means as well as the anthropogenic means. Natural as well as the anthropogenic means. Okay, so how ozone is created? Ozone is created, or ozone is formed by the reaction of the volatile organic compound with the oxides of the nitrogen. Okay, so ozone is a very reactive gas. It is harmful for us if it is found in the stratosphere. If it is found in the troposphere, then it is very harmful for us. But if it is found in the stratosphere, then it protects us from the ultraviolet rays, which has the higher energy coming from the suns. Okay, so ozone is a gas. If it is found at the lower part of the atmosphere, that means in the troposphere, then it is harmful for us, and that is termed as the bad ozone. But if it is found in the upper part, or if you can say if it is found in the stratosphere, then it protects us from the UV rays, and that is why it is termed as the good ozone. Okay, the ozone is categorized into the good ozone and bad ozone. Bad ozone is directly affect the human health, and the good ozone is indirectly protect us from the high energy heat, that is the ultraviolet heat, which are coming from the sun. Okay, so in today's context, we will talk about the good ozone, which is found at the stratosphere. In the stratosphere, the oxygen in the stratosphere, the ozone is found naturally, and ozone, when the ultraviolet rays falls on the ozone, then ozone is break down into the oxygen and the nascent oxygen. And again, when the oxygen and nascent oxygen, it is also in the unstable condition, then it again create the ozone. This is a reversible reaction is always taking place at this particular area, that means at the stratosphere region. But when the anthropogenic disturbance, due to the anthropogenic disturbance or due to the anthropogenic source of the sources, some CFC or the chlorofluorocarbon gases emitted, and when the CFC gas reaches at this position at the stratosphere, and when this CFC interact with the ultraviolet rays, then the chlorine has ejected from this compound, and this chlorine will merge with this monooxide, this monooxygen, and it create the chlorine monooxide. Okay, you can learn here. If the ozone is present in the stratosphere, then ozone is taking a reaction, and it breaks into the oxygen plus nascent oxygen in the presence of the ultraviolet rays. This is an unstable form. If this is the unstable form, then it again react with the oxygen and it form the ozone in the reversible reaction. This reversible reaction is taking place at this particular area continuously. But when the anthropogenic factors, due to the anthropogenic factors, some CFC will release, and the CFC is the lighter compound of the gas. If CFC arrive there and on the presence of the ultraviolet rays, this CFC will break and the chlorine will extracted from here. If this chlorine is extracted, then this chlorine is more suitable to make a compound with this nascent oxygen, and it form a compound that is called the chlorine monooxide. If this chlorine monooxide is formed, then now this reaction is disturbed. This reaction is disturbed. If this reaction is disturbed, then the ozone formation will be stopped. Ozone formation will be disturbed or will be stopped. If the ozone formation will be stopped, then the concentration of the ozone will reduces. If the concentration of the ozone reduces at this stratosphere, then if this reduction is taking place with the 25% at the normal atmospheric condition, with the comparison of the normal atmospheric condition, then it is termed as the ozone hole. What is the actually ozone hole? Ozone hole is the decretion or the decrease in the percentage of the ozone concentration by the 25% at the comparison of the normal atmospheric condition. So ozone hole is this condition is called the ozone hole. Okay, and this ozone hole is now recognized at the tropics region. This is the main part of this lecture. Okay, so what is the ozone? How the ozone is formed? About the ozone, what is the ozone? It is the highly reactive gas, pale blue color, composed of the 3 oxygen atoms. We have discussed about this. Okay, it is both as the natural and the man-made product that occurs in the Earth's upper atmosphere, stratosphere, and the lower lower part of the atmosphere, that is the troposphere. If it is found in the troposphere, it is termed as the bad ozone. If it is found in the stratosphere, it is termed as the good ozone. Why? Because in the troposphere, it directly react with the it directly contact with the human being, and it is termed as the secondary pollutant. It is act as the secondary pollutant. That is why it is termed as the bad ozone. So the next is why the measurement of the unit in which we measure the thickness of the ozone layer is called the Dobson. It can be asked in your in the PCS examination. Okay. So what is the Dobson? Dobson is the unit which measures the thickness of the ozone. Good and bad ozone. What is the good and bad ozone? Okay. Ozone hole. What is the ozone hole? An ozone hole is an the area where the loss of gas is 25% more than the undisturbed atmosphere. Undisturbed atmosphere से ज़्यादा अगर 25% यहाँ पे होता है, that is called the ozone hole. ठीक है? What are the causes for the ozone hole? The main cause of the ozone hole is that is the CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. The chlorofluorocarbon gas is most potent gas which can be harm the ozone layers. So most important factor which are harming the ozone layer is the chlorofluorocarbons. What are the effect of the ozone depletion? The effect of the ozone depletion. So look here, what are the effect of the ozone depletion? For the if we want to understand the effect of the ozone depletion, we should know about the what are the protection of the ozone layers. The protection of the ozone layer protect us from the high energy ultraviolet rays. If ozone layer will deplete, if the the thickness of the ozone layer will decreases, then this high energy of the ultraviolet rays will come on the earth surface, on the earth ground. So firstly, it increased the global temperature, that is cause for the global warming. The first factor, it is cause for the global warming. Okay, because it consists the higher energy than the visible rays. Now we are getting the visible rays which are less energy than this ultraviolet rays. But if the ozone layer depleted, then UV rays will come directly to the earth surface, and it has the more energy than the other rays than at the present time which we are getting. So firstly, it will responsible for the global warming. The first, it is responsible for the global warming. Second, when these ultraviolet rays will falls on the plants, then it will responsible for the burning of the leaves and the other green areas of the plants. So it can be disturb the, it would be disturb the rate of the photosynthesis. It would be disturb the rate of the photosynthesis. If it would disturb the photosynthesis, then all the things which is related to the photosynthesis or which are dependent on the plants will be disturbed. That means the all food chain will be disturbed. So physically it also affect the physically the plants. The first, it affects the rate of the photosynthesis because it could be burned the leaves and the other green plants of the other green parts of the plant because it has the higher energy. Okay, if the photosynthesis rate will be disturbed, then the productivity or the primary productivity will be disturbed. If the primary productivity will be disturbed, then all the food system or the food chain will be disturbed. That means entire organism will be affected by this phenomena. Okay. Second, it also can disturb the physical existence of the plants and the animals. It physically affect the animals and the plants. Second, if physically affect the animals, it can be cause for the mutation in the genes. If the high energy ultraviolet rays falls to the skin of falls on the skin of any animal, then it will affect that particular animal, and that animal also affected by the internal affection can be also done. Okay, so second or the fourth thing is it is physically or it is responsible for the cancer of the skin. It can be responsible for the mutation of the genes. Okay, so these are some important effects of the global warming, like the cancer causing, affect the physiological and the development of the process of the plants, affect the foundation of the aquatic food webs, and the climate change regulation. These are some important factors which are responsible for the effects on the earth by the ozone layer depletion. Okay. So next one is what are the conventions that has done for the protection of the ozone layer? At the global level, very first time when the global countries convened at the same place for the protection of the protection of the ozone layer, that particular place was the Vienna. In 1985, the global countries or the entire world was convened at the particular place in the Vienna, and where this meeting or this convening is called the Vienna Convention. The very first time it was taken into account for the conservation of the ozone layer in the Vienna Convention, and then after in 1987, Vienna Convention was taken place in 1985. In 1987, again under the guidance of the United Nations, a Montreal Protocol was adopted, and this Montreal Protocol was deemed as the most successful protocol of the United Nations till now. But after this discovery, it will raise a question mark on this Montreal Protocol. So Montreal Protocol is the protocol that was adopted in 1987 in the Canada, the city of Canada, Montreal, and at that time the main objective of this Montreal Protocol was to recognize the substance which are responsible for the depletion of the ozone. So in this convention, some ozone depleting substance was recognized, and the global level, at the global world, was started to break down the production of these ozone depleting substance like the CFC and the other substances. So second important convention was taken in 1987, and again in 2016 to curb the production of the HFC, hydrofluorocarbon. Again the world has convened at the particular place that is called the Kigali. It is the capital of the Rwanda, and this in the Kigali agreement, the decision was taken that at the global level we will phase out the production of the HFC. HFC is basically a substance which was displaced, which was used in the place of the CFC. But HFC has also its drawback, and the drawback is it is a greenhouse gas. So this HFC will be replaced by the other substance which are eco-friendly or which are less impact on the environment. So CFC was replaced by the HFC, but now HFC has the influence on the global warming. That is why it is planned to phase out the HFC till 2025 or 2045. Okay, so these three conventions are related to the ozone conservation in 1985, in 1987, and in 2016. So these are the important conventions which are related to the ozone conservation. Okay, so UV radiation is radiation which has the shorter wavelength than the visible rays, and it is not visible from the naked eye, classified into the three types of the wavelength: UVA, UVB, and the UVC. This is the part of the science. UVA, long wavelength, 95% of the UV radiation reaching to the Earth's surface, high penetration power. This has the high penetration power, and the 95% of the UV rays A reaches to the Earth's surface. UVB, short wavelength, that reaches the outer layer of your skin, the epidermis, absorbed by the Earth ozone layer. UVB was absorbed by the Earth's ozone layer. UVC radiation is the highest energy portion of the UV radiation spectrum, and that is blocked by the ozone layer. So UVA is not blocked by the ozone layer. Ozone layer cannot block the UV rays because its penetration power is very high, so it can penetrate the ozone layer and it arrives to Earth's surface. But UVB and UVC can be blocked by the ozone layer, so it cannot arrive at the Earth's surface. If the ozone layer will be depleted, then these rays will also come toward the Earth's surface. That will very harmful. That would be very harmful for human being or the animals or the plants which are on the Earth's surface. So this is very disastrous for us if we are not able to tackle the ozone layer, ozone hole, to heal the ozone hole. So we should try to ban the things which are responsible for the ozone depletion. Okay, so guys, today's class we have discussed these things which are related to the current news, because a new ozone hole was discovered. So please do like and subscribe this channel, and thank you so much.